quick question. See that shit with Ja Morant? Is it John Morant? Not Ja Morant.
He did something again?
Yeah, he did another like bang, 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 bang. First of all,
the gun kid?
yeah. He did another one, but
He did another one. Not maybe a video or something?
no, in the game.
Oh, just a taunt?
Yeah, but again, he got fined for that. I think suspended for that. Like that's a big thing right now. Like you can't do the say in the NFL. You do the anything pointing a gun. Like it's not happening. But my question is, so first of all, I think it started some shit like I think Steph had a phenomenal game. He did the Steph because Steph was kicking their ass. So then he got in trouble for it. But then, if I'm not mistaken, another time he did that at another opponent, and then the opponent act like he got shot. But I thought this shit was hilarious. Like, so my question is it that serious, bro? Is it? I don't know. I know they say it is, so I'm just trying to understand it. Does something like that spark school shootings or something? Are people now shooting out at school basketball games? Because is that the thought process behind something like that? Am I missing a point?
No, I don't. You know what? That's a good one because if you let it play itself out, right, and you assume that people don't like it, then brands will walk away from it. If the brands don't walk away from it,
so I guess that's the main point.
Let it police itself.
Touche. Whatever the brand say, whatever the money says, that's where we're gonna go.
If the brand says I'm not, I would love to sponsor this athlete, but because he does this taunt, we don't want to sponsor him. Not telling him not to do it, but because you do it, I don't want to be a part of it, so I walk away. Because if you try to police that, then who's to decide what they like now as far as celebrations?
Well, look at the you see, old boy shit was banned.
Who's this?
Is it CeeDee Lamb?
What do you do?
I think his shit cold. When he get his little first down, you can't wipe your nose no more. That's banned.
See what I'm saying? So now you're getting crazy with it.
That's banned.
Like now you're getting crazy.
And his celebration is hard, bro. When he get that first down, I'm like, I don't even like the jump. I don't even like Dallas. But it's a cold celebration. Celebration is hard, but it's banned. So I guess it's the same thing though. I guess brands don't like it, so we got to ban it.
Right. It's putting a bad image on the league. So it's like you ban it.
That's so whack.
That's what they work for.
That's so whack, bro.
That's what they work for.
That's whack as hell.
Yeah, but it makes sense if it's messing up the money, and it's not necessarily the biggest. It's not at all like a big part of the game. Too much. We don't really need that for the score to change so we can have a winner or loser. It doesn't matter how often you taunt your opponent to do stuff, even though that's cool for visuals so you can see.
But I think it's part of the emotion of the physicality of what you're asking these guys to do.
But the
you're
brands
asking
don't
them. That's crazy though, because you're asking them, hey, release all these emotions to stop it. That's rough to do. That's rough to do when you're talking about so much emotion and aggression of amongst men, and you're asking them to release all of, hey, run through this wall, but then stop. Like, bro, it's kind of hard to do that.
Right.
Either I go or I don't. The backing that's rough, and they try to police those things in between. I think that's like looking at the outcome of like a football play and then ridiculing it based on what the game looked like at 1x speed. Like, you feel what I'm saying? The game is played at 3x speed. Now you want to judge it at a negative 1x speed? Like, you can't do that. So
what are they? Not that it really matters.
No,
because now they're, like I said, they're policing every single move, but they can do that because it's a private league. Like, they can make their rules, so that's how it goes. And you decide to sign a contract to follow those rules, and they can change the rules how they want. I actually like it not being part of the game.
You whack, bro.
Yeah.
You so fucking whack. You so whack.
I've always liked people that just did their business and just kept it business.
You like, who was that? Barry Sanders? Was it Barry Sanders that just handed the ball to the ref and turned around?
There's a lot of them. Barry Sanders, Larry Fitzgerald.
I don't like them.
Yeah.
I don't like them. Yeah. Give me T.O.
Yeah.
Give me T.O. Let me sign my shit. Let me pull out the Sharpie out the sock. Take that. That is gangster. Give me the Zeke type shit. Like, give me all that. Give me all that.
Like my dad would say, that's no coof.
Yo, I ain't got no coof, bro.
No
I am coof out.
Whatsoever, yo.
I am coof out.
Man. Yeah.
Hey, yo, that's
My guy is my guy. But see, the con is on my end. My guy is not marketable. Like I actually
Because your
find
guy
out,
is lame, bro.
But check it out. I actually find out the people that I like the most, they really aren't marketable.
Yeah,
because they just do their thing and just go.
Yeah, you keep them guys. I don't want no parts of those guys.
yo.
No way. Where's the emotion, bro? Where's the
I like the Khabibs of the world, like how they just beat you and it's like, okay, I beat you.
Nah.
No big
What's
deal.
my man? What's my man in MMA? The airbender.
Azir Adesanya.
Yeah, give me him.
Yeah.
Give me him.
But see, he's on a downward trajectory.
I don't give a fuck.
You know? He could have saved a lot of those antics. Now the biggest part of his career is going to be his antics.
That's what he's going to be remembered for.
The
Good, bad,
antics.
or indifferent. He's going to be bought up regardless.
And he's a good fighter.
Exactly.
But
so
the antics.
he's going to be
is
bought
a
up
lot.
regardless in the category.
Get you.
That's
you
all.
said, I'm corny when it comes to that.
Yes,
though. I just
yes.
like guys like that.
Oh my god,
I like,
bro.
I wanted to be like, because those superheroes act like that. Think about it.
It depends on what superheroes.
I'm talking about Batman and Superman, the original.
I might like Deadpool. See the difference in superheroes.
See, but look, if I say name superheroes, I didn't even see.
I might like Wolverine. My superhero.
Oh, see, so he's like that.
See, my superhero might be different from who your figure of a superhero is.
Look.
And Batman's a dick. You gonna talk about?
But look, hey, check this out. I give you that, right? But I challenge you now, and I say the guys I'm talking about, like we talking about top 2 or 3.
Whoa!
I'm not even a superhero dude, so I'm not one to talk. But you mean Batman and Superman are your standard? Like that got to be like up there.
Okay, and my standard, let's say we Wolverine, he's up there.
All right, but his overall rating wouldn't be as high as Batman or Superman. I'm just guessing.
He killing Batman.
Yeah, Wolverine is actually a mutant if you think about it.
But he's a superhero.
Yeah.
But he's a superhero.
Batman is a real human being, right?
What the fuck is Superman? He's an alien.
Yeah, that's true.
So it's fair. Exactly.
Batman's the best. Batman's the best. Yeah, that's a good one.
He's talking like Clark Kent, born in Brooklyn.
Right, that's true. Yeah. Yeah, but that's a good one, man. Yeah, I'm not into all of those antics, but I get it. You know why? Because this is the real reason why I don't see how it works.
What you mean?
Like, what happens when you lose?
Because, all right, so since you haven't played organized sports. I can't even say it with a straight face.
Go ahead. No, I'm listening.
I know. I just wanted to say I didn't have anything else to follow
I'm about to say, how are you gonna? Where are you gonna?
I had nowhere to go.
Because I'm like,
go. I was just being an asshole.
My allergies were bothering me right after.
I just think
right when you said that, I already knew the response for you. I'm like, if he's gonna try to go through with this, I'm like, this is not it. He's gonna lose this one easy.
You was waiting for it.
Yeah, I'm like, come on.
I was ready to concede when I said it. I knew I was gonna lose that when I said it. But what I'm saying is, I just think that the celebration is part of the emotion eruption of the game. That's all it is. You want it to be what the aesthetics of baseball is then. Because they're celebrating theirs almost frowned upon in a lot of circumstances.
Baseball now?
Yeah, it's like hit your home run and get your ass around the bases. How dare you lollygag around the base and enjoy this moment? It's disrespectful to the pitcher. It's disrespectful to the game. So you got to, be professional, run your ass around the base and get in the dugout, maybe do some high fouls, but not around these bases. You bet not dare.
Right.
It's not in the rule book, but it's frowned upon. It doesn't look good.
Oh, wow. I didn't know baseball did that. Like I said,
hence why I don't watch that shit.
But it's not, my way of thinking is not fair with it though. But back to what I'm saying about the showboating. The reason why, it's not like I don't like it. It's I don't understand it as much because like the universe, the cosmos, like you're not always gonna win.
Correct.
So how is that gonna look when you lose?
You just don't do it.
Just don't do what?
You just don't celebrate. You just don't celebrate. You don't showboat. I don't understand. You're not celebrating and showboating with the premise that you're gonna lose.
Yeah, it's just
that's the enjoyment of winning because you lose often, but that's the enjoyment of winning right there.
Yeah. So
when he gets that first down and he points and celebrates, He doesn't always catch passes for first down, but when he do, I'm celebrating.
To your point, and I guess that's where I'm going. See, and that's one. I think Barry Sanders' thing was he knew he was going to be there again.
Yeah. You can keep all that bullshit. Like, you're going to score another touchdown, but every run he had wasn't a touchdown.
If he wasn't a Hall of Famer, you have a great point.
No, what I'm saying is, I dig the premise, but every time he received the ball, it was not a touchdown. So yeah, you figure eventually enough of those handoffs, you might have more touchdowns than others. Yeah. So eventually you'll get back there, but every run is not a touchdown. So yeah, keep that premise. I dig what you're saying. You can have it, but I'm not siding with that.
I hate when I see the receiver catch the ball, boom, he get it, it's a first down. He picked the ball up, and the ref. Now this is always, like I said, no coof, and this is me just having a lot of coof. That's pretty much what it is.
Just full of coof.
Full of coof. That's why people
you
love me.
exude coof.
That's why people love me. They get the first down, they pick the ball up, and they
I
drop
love
it on the
I
ground.
love it.
And then the ref
Bang.
gotta pick the
And
ball
he
up.
gotta catch the.
I'm like,
I love it.
No coof.
I love it, bro.
No coof.
I love it. I told you, T.O.
No
sign a
coof.
ball, fucking pull a Sharpie out the sock
coof.
is the epitome of. I'm the run on a. You done scored interception, run on the middle of the Dallas Star, and do your two-step. Like, do it all, bro. Do it all.
Yeah.
Evoke the emotion. Let's get it.
I actually watch for that stuff. Like, now there's show stuff like that all day, right? I actually like the guy, and this is how I think I do pick my players like this. So in any sport, but let's talk football in particular, right? So after the play is over, I like my guy who, like, because the ball is there, he gets to pick the ball up because he's there and just gives it to the ref. I'm like, I look at that stuff like, that's a cool dude right there. That's a cool dude. I like that
I'm
stuff.
done.
I like that
I'm
stuff.
done. Your guy sacks the quarterback, gets up, straightens his helmet, and goes back to the huddle. My guy,
Those quarterback sack things I like.
sacks
That's
the.
different.
So
That's different.
So that's the celebration you like.
People do things on the spectrum. It's weird because I feel like there's taste in that.
I'm done. That is mad. That is you being.
Yeah, that's weird, right? That is weird.
You being real disingenuous right now, bro.
You know why? I believe that doesn't slow the game up at all.
So how does?
That's crazy. I believe that.
How does after my touchdown, sign into my football and throw it in the stands, slow the game with put pace of the game down?
I don't have a problem with that.
Okay.
I don't have a problem with that.
So
but when you get the ball and the referee need the ball and you got it like this and you drop it on the ground, I think that's tasteless. Like, yo, give the ref the ball.
Okay. So you're not against celebrating. You're against certain types of celebrations.
You got it. Yeah.
So as long as it's Ronald approved and tasteful, it's acceptable. Is that what you're saying?
You know, it's just one of the, like, you know,
that's real subjective.
Fletcher Cox had his thing when he go down.
Yeah. So was that acceptable?
Because of the gun thing now, I guess it probably won't be acceptable. But I like back in the day, Jared Allen used to do his sack and he like wrap you up and go, I love that shit. So I like a lot of it.
Let's back up one step to Fletcher Cox. Is it because what he's shooting is more acceptable? Because Ja Morant, we know what he's shooting, but Fletcher Cox,
it's acceptable. Yeah. Matter of fact, that's a good one. I like that because Fletcher Cox is not.
He's a hunter.
He's hunting.
He hunts deers and shit. You see, on his page, he's full.
Right. And we know animals don't have rights. So
and Ja Morant,
but we just still be nice to him because that's a good thing to
do. So, and we're assuming Ja Morant is not shooting rifles.
Ja Morant is not shooting a rabbit. He's shooting a person. I like this one. That's why they can't do that. But the people that are shooting themselves, there's nothing wrong with that. Don't they do that sometimes? Like, right? That's supposed to be like, I guess unconscious.
That's bad too. You're not doing that, I guess, with a hunting rifle. So,
yeah.
Hunting rifles are okay, guys.
Yeah.
Pistols and AKs are not.
Yeah.
So, yeah. As long as you celebrate that. So okay.
To my point, all of the sack stuff is okay.
So that means Ja Morant just need to hit the floor and then do that. If I'm Ja Morant, I'm being an asshole. I'm hitting the Fletcher Cox. I'm trying to prove a point. I'm going to hit a three. I'm going to hit the ground and hit the Fletcher Cox.
It's unnecessary. It's not going to make any sense. He can't make sense of hitting the ground. He got to hit the game-winning shot and do it. Game-winning shot. Clock is over. He hits the fadeaway shot. Swish. Then he can hit the ground, do the Fletcher Cox. Fletcher Cox is hunting down quarterbacks. So that makes sense. You hunting down quarterbacks.
And he's hunting down his opponent.
No, you're not.
Why not?
He's not. How are you hunting down the basketball? Who are you hunting down?
Every player, because I'm trying to win. You see, your interpretation might be different from my interpretation.
No, mine makes sense.
I'm hunting you. I'm going against you. You're my prey. I'm attacking you.
No, you're attacking the basket.
No, I'm attacking that team as a whole. Like,
Okay.
yeah, I'm trying to score, but I'm still attacking that team as a whole.
And they're running from you?
Yes. They running from the score I'm putting up. The fuck?
They're trying to get away from you.
The
while you're
fuck?
attacking them?
Yes.
No, you're hunting down the quarterback
Hey, yo,
because he's
no,
standing back
no,
there and
no.
he's trying to get away from you.
See?
So that makes sense. That's why the sacks and stuff,
Well,
that's
see,
okay.
that's what fuels you and what you wrapped in your head. It means
Look, the bottom line is as soon as you bring the black culture into these sports and that negative energy, we don't want that.
okay. So
We don't want that culture in the sport. That's the bottom line.
That's I guess that's the main point of it.
Don't bring that hood.
All right.
Don't bring that hood culture.
I like
It
the
don't
celebration.
It doesn't necessarily have to be black. I was just saying that just for shits and giggles. But don't bring that culture into the sports. They're saying leave that shit
But
in the rap music.
It's
leave that stuff
unfortunate
in the hip hop.
because that
stuff
is
there.
the sport. Unfortunately,
No, it's not the sport.
that's who you have in the sport.
Well, you have those individuals from that community in the sport.
That
but they
is
don't
all
gotta-
That's 98% of
I'm
it.
for all that shit. Cut that shit out the sport.
That's
We don't need that.
98% of the participants of the sport.
Yeah, but-
so it's unfortunate their individuality,
But we don't need
and
to
personality.
We don't need to portray that on television for everybody to see.
I don't think it's causing any. I don't understand it because I don't think any of the type of celebration causes. You know what?
Yeah, I'm about to
Pause.
say,
Let me stop
it's a
right
lot
there.
of
Let me
stuff.
stop right there
You see a
because
kid
then if
could-
you got a nigga doing like hanging signs and shit like that, like then I guess like
Yeah, like where do you draw the limit?
Yeah. So I guess you have to have some type of baseline of
Yeah.
what's acceptable. I guess fair point.
You know,
Fuck.
well, you know,
But I think it should just be the Wild West with celebrations. I think everything should be fair game.
there was a celebration. Speaking of the guy Israel Adesanya, when he beat Paulo Acosta, he basically humped him like he was like humping him while he was on the ground after he beat him.
No Diddy stuff though.
I thought that was so disrespectful.
Yeah, no, everything's acceptable except for Diddy stuff.
That was a bit much.
Yeah,
you know, that was a bit much. But like I
because we
said,
might fight for that.
But I'm saying, see,
Like
that
real
was,
fight.
That was a bit much. But to your point, where's the Wild West? I just threw something out there because I thought that was the most egregious thing I've seen, and it was like that was weird. And it didn't make me dislike him as a fighter. It just made me look at him like, wow, this is not who I thought he was.
One of the most egregious celebrations I saw looks like it was like a semi-pro football league. I was watching it on YouTube. The safety caught the interception. The receiver falls on the ground face first. The corner catches the interception. He's over the receiver, and he does a old boy hump on top of him. The receiver doesn't see it because he's face down because he fell. Dude kept going runs.
Right.
Like that probably started a fight a week later.
Yeah.
When he got home and he saw the replay of how old boy celebrated on top of him, that might have started a fight a week later. Yeah. But yes, those type of all thrusting and humping motions should be eliminated from any type of celebration. But anything you do with your fingers, like, bro, no. Yeah. I don't think anything you doing with your fingers or anything like that.
I know you're humans and you have emotions and you can't be like horse. Like a horse, when they win the race, you know, they win the race. They don't know, like, on to the next, you know. To ask a human being to do that, you know, that's like, okay, these guys are human beings. They're not race horses. They don't want to be looked at as race horses. So they have emotions. I get it. But it all, certain things you don't want to put out there to show like it's okay to the public.
Yeah,
like
certain real life shit.
The shooting of the guns is not real life. That's not real life, bro.
It's not real life for who?
Like, let's take Ja Morant. I don't think it was real life for him ever.
Maybe not him, but maybe people he knows.
Okay, so is working your way up to do something positive, because we can argue that the gun shooting is negative, right?
I mean, yeah,
especially when you're shooting at other people. That's a negative thing, right?
Correct.
So we can't. It won't be done, but we can't promote positive stuff.
I don't like what you're doing here because you're trying to make it seem like we're talking about guns. And old boy could smoothly play a lot of fucking paintball on the side. And if he does, what he's emulating is not what you're saying. I don't like the inference we're making.
That's a fair point. The problem is the identification. When you look at him and you profile them even though you don't want to.
So that's a you problem, not a me problem.
No, but this is obviously is a lot of people problem because
correct
because the people don't want it anymore. You know, because it's showing the wrong
because
image.
they're assuming
There's a culture.
They're putting what they think it means and what they feel it means versus asking them, hey, what does that mean? What are you doing? What are you emulating? Like, what is that?
That particular culture doesn't belong being displayed in the sport.
What, paintball culture?
Paintball culture. No, the gun culture. That culture is not for the sport.
No, I don't agree. But we can smoothly see if anyone has played paintball, he was smoothly holding the paintball gun and shooting paintball.
Who, Ja Morant?
Correct.
How do you we don't know what he was shooting, basically. Because
my fucking point.
Yeah, but they don't want no reference of shooting. You can't do that. So I understand where that comes from because the brands don't want nothing to do with it. And they don't want to promote that image. Like, it's okay. That makes
they
sense.
might be missing out on the whole market. There's a whole bunch of people who play paintball that the whole market they're missing out on. And just to alienate those group of people based on what they think, I think it's foul.
Nah, you know he's not playing paintball, bro.
Bro, to me, the person who's played a lot of paintball in his life, to me, it looked like he was holding a Tippmann 45 paintball rifle.
I mistakenly said black culture. That's where I mistake. But they don't want any parts of that urban,
So they don't like to see black people playing paintball.
Culture,
I dig
that. That's not good. It's not positive stuff, man.
Paintball is a majority called lighter skin activity. But I can definitely say when I go paintball, it's a lot of black people out there. And
what? How the fuck is paintball light skin activity?
You don't see a lot of people paintballing. I mean, not in my area. I don't see a lot of us paintballing. So not too many.
You mean in the United States, maybe? I don't even know.
Yeah.
Because I'm gonna say, what if they paintball in Africa?
They might.
They
might melt out there. Paintballs might melt. They might gotta do it at dark time.
This is probably hot as hell. But that's just like doing paintballs out here at 90-degree weather.
Yeah, they're a lot softer.
So
it still hurt, but nevertheless.
Like I said, so.
But yeah, so the whole point is don't alienate a whole group based off what you think. Like, if you don't like paintballers, fine, you don't want paintballing to be associated with the NBA. That's a fair point. Then just say that, though.
The problem is, if you look at, not even a problem, but he's not doing paintball.
Has Ja Morant has a history of shooting people?
No, but the whole incident with the gun in the car at one point. So that's where I was going with it. There's a history behind it where it's like, this guy not talking about paintballing. It's not like if
he had a gun in his car.
If you go to some type of music video, I forgot what it was a while ago. We talked about it. Waving of the gun or something like that. He got in trouble for this gun thing. So
he didn't shoot anybody though.
But he should possibly stay away from anything remotely close to any type of gun. That's it. Do something else. Why is it that nothing else can come to his mind besides shooting something? Or portraying and act like he's shooting something when you want to celebrate.
Because he could be an avid paintballer. He could go to the gun range and take really pride in his accuracy. I don't know. I just don't like the assumptions. I just don't like the policing of little microaggressions and shit like that.
No, and like I said, you make a good point. I get it. Because if Steph Curry do it, I could see him being a sharpshooter.
Correct.
So
Reggie Miller do it. He look awesome.
So you're saying it depends on what the skin complexion is, depending on whether or not you could do it?
I think that is. It's a metric. It's a metric.
Because when the white boys do it, they get in trouble too. See?
It's a metric.
The white boys do it, they get in trouble too.
Well, you know what?
And then you said Steph Curry did it and got in trouble.
We've already established maybe it's not color. It's based on a rifle. Hunting rifle good. Pistol and assault rifle's bad.
But how you gonna show and display that you got a hunting rifle standing up? And like you're not showing. What did you?
Well,
hunt, what did you hunt down?
Because you gotta hold it. You gotta be like this and shit when you do it.
Oh, you know what? What they could do is I don't know what it's called when they throw the disc in the air and throw the shotgun.
Clay shooting.
They can do that. That's fine.
Yeah. Oh shit.
There you go. There you go.
So there you go.
So
you got to do a whole motion.
It's a two-person
celebration.
You got to
hit me the alley-oop.
You have your boy do it, shoot it up, then.
That'd be a fire celebrate. That is
There
fire.
Because so now you bring in the funniness. You
So,
know, you say I can't do the gun thing, but you say, look, I'm not shooting anybody. I'm shooting the disc. In the
I
air.
hit you with the alley-oop and shit.
Right.
Or the assist. You like crowd goes wild.
Yeah. So now you go ahead and you can have your guns. But do they want to do that? No. Because they're shooting somebody. These guys are shooting somebody. You got professional athletes making God knows how much money, and they want to shoot somebody for a celebration. Pow, pow, pow. That's how serious the game is? Are you kidding me? You that mad? You're still mad? You are still mad.
That was funny as fuck.
Come on, bro. There's no way, bro. There's
Because
no
they
way.
want to shoot people.
Why?
They want to shoot people. That was funny.
Why, man?
Ooh.
Why, bro?
You might have won that one.
Come on.
You might-
It's not
fair.
about. It's not even about winning, bro. It's just
Fair.
like trying to make sense of it.
Fair.
Like, come on.
It's just, I mean, it's not logical to me.
You won. You won.
But again,
You won the game. You won the
that's
game of life.
only if he's not replicating his pastime and his hobbies of paintballing. If he's not doing that, then yeah, maybe he shouldn't be doing that. But I'm gonna err on the side of giving the benefit of the doubt. I think he was emulating paintball. Yeah.
He was imitating the culture, that culture that is the reason for a lot of issues right now.